Hey guys, good morning. The sun is beaming in again. I'm at a weird angle. Only when I am reading the A Course in Miracles stuff. So let's take that as a sign, shall we? Everybody seemed to really like those first 5 lessons of A Course in Miracles. Maybe I should get the book or just download the app and start going through the stuff. You know, you don't have to do it one a day. It helps if you have no clue what it's talking about to just do it a little bit at a time, I think. But, you know, you can dive into this stuff and do it a little faster than that if you're really into it. So this is lesson 52, which is a review of lessons 6 to 10. So you get 5 at once, and I'll read them to you. The last 5 from the previous video, let me read those to you really quick. Lesson 51 is a review of lessons 1 through 5. Nothing I see means anything. I'll link to that video below, but by the way, also. Nothing I see means anything. I have given what I see all the meaning it has for me. I do not understand anything I see. These thoughts do not mean anything. I am never upset for the reason I think I am. So those are from my last video on this topic. And here is Workbook 52. That is a review of 6 through 10. I am upset because I see what is not there. Reality is never frightening. It is impossible that it could upset me. Reality brings only perfect peace. When I am upset, it is always because I have replaced reality with illusions I made up. The illusions are upsetting because I have given them reality and thus regard reality as an illusion. Nothing in God's creation is affected in any way by this confusion of mine. I am always upset by nothing. Lesson 7. I see only the past. Do you see the connections between this and Neville and everything else? I see only the past. As I look about, I condemn the world I look upon. I call this seeing. I hold the past against everyone and everything, making them my enemies. When I have forgiven myself and remembered who I am, I will bless everyone and everything I see. There will be no past and therefore no enemies. And I will look with love on all that I failed to see before. 8. My mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. I see only my own thoughts, and my mind is preoccupied with the past. What then can I see as it is? Let me remember that I look on the past to prevent the present from dawning on my mind. Let me understand that I am trying to use time against God. Let me learn to give the past away, realizing that in so doing, I am giving up nothing. Lesson 9. I see nothing as it is now. If I see nothing as it is now, it can truly be said that I see nothing. I can see only what is now. The choice is not whether to see the past or the present. The choice is merely whether to see or not. What I have chosen to see has cost me vision. Now I would choose again that I may see. 10. My thoughts do not mean anything. I have no private thoughts. Yet it is only private thoughts of which I am aware. What can these thoughts mean? They do not exist, and so they mean nothing. Yet my mind is part of creation and part of its creator. Would I not rather join the thinking of the universe than to obscure all that is really mine with my pitiful and meaningless private thoughts? So, you know, this just kind of expounds on the first 5. I'm going to do the next 5 also, because lesson 53 is the review of 11 through 14. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 11 through 15. But just, you know, I don't have a lot to say about this because it's, you know, if you think about this in human terms or you think about it in manifesting terms or whatever, what's being said here is true. Everything you see in the world is a projection. Every person you talk to, you're projecting ideas onto them without even realizing it. They say things that you take to mean something that it doesn't really mean. And so you would then have this experience because of it that is absolutely meaningless because it's not based in anything that's true or real. You know, when you start really getting into this and you realize how complete this type of experience is. Does that make sense? Like, when you realize how all-encompassing these ideas are, how you're quite literally never seeing anything for what it really is, doesn't that start to make it register how and why it is that you create your whole world? To me, this explains it nearly perfectly. You know, in the areas where A Course in Miracles is not about manifesting things in the external world. It's about recognizing sort of the illusion of the external world. But for manifesting purposes, you know, and I don't think A Course in Miracles people would like what I'm about to say, but I'll say it anyway because I think it helps to sort of make these connections. You know, it would make sense why you look at an area of your life where you have good stuff and you realize that you're not projecting all of this garbage onto it. You are projecting onto it, but you're projecting a better illusion onto those areas of your life than you are in the areas where you're dissatisfied. And having good things in your life has never prevented anybody from being dissatisfied. You know what I mean? It's all in your mind. And it's all, as this says, you know, I see only the past. I see nothing as it is now. Every judgment that you have is created by your past experience. And so, you know, I'm trying to sort of connect these two worlds that, you know, are all sort of an illusion. The manifesting stuff, to me, the fact that you can shift reality with your mentality, to me, is proof positive that it is an illusion. I've been saying this since I started this channel. The 3D world is not real in the way that we have come to see it as real. And I think everything changes when you sort of implant that as a truth. You realize that it's true and it starts infecting everything that you see and say and do. It changes everything. And, you know, my approach has been to all of this: go into your past, find the things that are creating the bad stuff, and change your view of them in some way. You know, that's a very simplified way of putting it. And you can't usually just go and do that. It requires, you know, jumping through some hoops mentally to get to a point where something big enough or deep enough that it's creating a whole area of your life not working, you know, getting to the point where that thing is fixed can be a little tricky. That's sort of the drum that I've been beating on this channel since I started it, because it's so profound. It's so profound the way an idea that you're holding that is from the past can be creating everything in your world, and how changing that will just like sort of magically change everything. It's crazy. But you know, I think really at the heart of this, I think that too ends up being an illusion, because, you know, it never truly leads to peace. The only way to true peace, I think, is total escape from this illusion, which is what Course in Miracles tries to aid you in achieving. You know, my friend ACIM Stacy, who I chat with via text, and my friend Cecilia, you know, I feel like I've had this conversation with them multiple times where I'm like, man, I feel like I'm just like, it's like, I know it's a decision away. I know that escape from the illusion is a decision away, but it always comes to the point where that decision is on the table and I never make it. I never choose to, you know, exit this sort of world of only seeing the past that doesn't exist, and continuing to play this human game, as Robert Scheinfeld calls it in Busting Loose from the Money Game. By the way, I mean, any of these authors, it's like if you read Robert Scheinfeld, if you read his stuff, it always ends up here. It always ends up, you know, with first you try manifesting, then you want to bust out of it, And finally, you just, it's like, it all leads to the same place, which is trying to get out of the illusion. Because it's a trap. It's a game you can't win. But anyway, I just hope that hearing these ideas, by the way, this is great news. Like, I remember getting very, very nervous and kind of scared when I was first reading A Course in Miracles stuff like 25 years ago, and I shelved it for a long time, literally, because it seemed really scary. But like, this is good news. This is good news. The good news is it's all good, and everything bad that you're experiencing is part of the illusion that isn't real. I mean, this is great news. This is the best news anybody could ever have. And I think everybody on some level has a sense that that's true somewhere in there. And then right above that sense that that's true is a gigantic, festering, bubbling, blistering pool of fear, just existential, survival level fear that is the challenge to get through, to get to that thing that really is true underneath it, which is that it's all good. Anyway, I hope that this helped anybody with anything. Holy shit. I'm gonna read lesson 52 next, and that will be tomorrow, Sunday. And then I have some other stuff. I'm really surprised. I've been getting some good feedback for all the reading I've been doing, which to me is like, I have content for years if I can just read stuff and talk about it. So, I guess I'll keep doing that. I'm glad to know that people like it. So yeah, lesson 52, which is the review of lessons 11 through 15, I will do next for tomorrow, and have a great day.